just cut him.
Welcome back, but it feels like you never left. I mean, it feels like you're here the whole time, but I guess you're getting ready to return. So how does it feel right now?
Man, like I just said, I never felt like I was out of the business, and I just didn't feel anymore in the UFC. I have a lot of respect. They treat me well, and I make a run to the title. Unfortunately, I didn't accomplish my dream. I wanna hold that belt, but I believe, like mostly of the fans, the people that know MMA, I was the number one at some point at 135 pounds. I gave my all to the division. I made so many sacrifices, and man, I felt like I did what I have to do, and even not getting the belt, I put on a show. Every time I was fighting, people stopped to talk to everyone, stopped to eat, to watch, and that's what drove me, Since I signed with them, I said I'm here to fight with the best and give a tough fight to anyone. And man, 100%. Every time my opponents step inside the cage with me, they were worried about something. They were not comfortable at all. They were not thinking they have an easy fight.
Did you lose any passion at all? Like during the time, was there any part at all where you were like, man, I don't even want to be around this, or did you stay in the gym the whole time? Like
no, not for the training, not to be around these people in the gym, not to support the people that have the same dream I do, but I just didn't want to get to the UFC to go over everything again. I need something else. I need another drive to compete, something that would drive me to get to the competition, and train, because I want to get in there. I want to put on a fire, I know who's sitting outside the cage loves me. I know who's sitting outside the cage loves to watch me fighting, and they bleed, I know the people behind Professional Fighters League, they bleed. They were fighters, and they are people that respect their fighters, their champions, not just their champions, but anyone that stepped in there. I know Ray and all the crew, they respect them because Ray compete. Ray was a professional fighter. For many of us, he was like a big name. For me, I was always a big fan of him, and that's what's driving me. I want to compete for that guy. I want to compete for that team, and I want to represent the Professional Fighters League.
I would say, does it feel kind of like coming home a little bit? I mean, I know it's a different name now, but it's a lot of the same people, right?
Yes, do what I love for who I love.
That's awesome. And a change in division as well, right? How much is that going to affect you? Better, worse, different?
I think speed, power, and I'm not struggling at all. I'm eating healthy, I'm living a life, I'm not eating anything I can, but at least I'm not in sauna every day like I see mostly the guys. And right now I see, and I go in sauna for 5 minutes maybe, and I see the other guys, and in their head they know they have to do that because they gotta get the weight. And for me, I'm gonna get the weight because that's my weight.
Last thing for you, talk about the matchup itself. Right on paper, it looks like it's going to be a pretty crazy fight to make.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Shane. I think he's a big fighter. They got big name, and why not fight him? Big fight, and for the show, put two of the guys that are coming. They are hot. They want to put on a show. They want to prove that worth. And for me, I'm gonna welcome him because I'm home, and I'm not gonna let that happen. And I have to win this fight, and for me, just for me, no pressure at all. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna put on a show, I'm gonna shock everyone, and they will see what I still can do inside the octagon.
Marlon, just here. After your last fight, when you decided, enough is enough, did you always have that sort of in the back of your mind, thinking, I might come back, or were you kind of like, no, I'm done?
Man, it's just tough to say that, but man, I just didn't want to see that people anymore, like you lose a fight and you have to look at I have a lot of respect for everyone, but I just don't want to see that people, like all the backstage and the same thing. I want to click. I want something different that drives me. And when the opportunity to come to Professional Fighters League came, I couldn't hesitate, man. I'm gonna see people that I hang out, people that they are true friends, that if I lose a fight, they're gonna bump on my shoulder, and I know they're honest, they're not like just, he's a piece of something, and I'm here to stay, and I'm not gonna be an easy fight to anyone. And guys, don't count me out. I'm a 35er, but I believe 135 pounds is the toughest division in all divisions, and I did a lot. I put Armand Sterling out, and you guys just saw what he did to TJ, and I believe I can put anyone out at 45 as well.
Would you say, like you said about, wanting something new, was it that you left the UFC on bad terms, or you just wanted,
No, good terms, man. It's just like the feeling, I just don't want to be that anymore, like I just want something new for my life. I just want to accomplish something. Unfortunately, I want to get to the UFC, get the belt. I didn't get the belt, and I want something different. I wanna do this because I love, not because I just want to do. I want to go in there. I want to make that money. I want to fight TJ Dillashaw. I want to fight Sean O'Malley. Fuck all these guys, man. I don't care who I'm fighting. I want to fight with good fighters, and I want to fight for who I love.
Obviously, all the names you just mentioned have recently fought. What have you made of that division since you've left? Do you still feel like, even if you were to go back in there, you'd still be right in the top of those names?
Man, it's just a matter of timing, timing, and the timing wasn't there anymore for me, and I believe that the time passed, and you maybe lose a little bit, you gain a little bit, and I kind of felt a little out, but of course, my skills, the level I fight, I can be a tough fight for any one of these guys. You just saw what Sterling just did to TJ, and the 35 division is top 15, the toughest fighters in the world. Sean O'Malley is number 15, 13, I don't know, to be honest. He fought Peter Yan. Peter Yan was a former champion, and look what he did to Peter Yan. I don't think he won the fight, but he put on a fight. It was a tough fight. For a lot of people, could go both ways. I think Yan won, but I kind of could see the other way as well. But I believe Yan won, and that's the level I was in. That's the level of competition I put myself through.
And we see a lot of fighters when they're moving up in weight almost become like a new fighter. When you're going up to weight, you'll probably keep your speed and even be more powerful at 45.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to feel, I am feeling in training, and I can't wait to feel that in a fight, that you really can murder the guy, that you can throw hard. And in the training, I'm already feeling the difference. I'm focused on my skills and not much on my diet, on training like crazy cardios, like right now I'm feeling energized, I'm starting training and I'm finishing in the same way I'm starting,
And finally, going off what you're saying, does this almost feel like a new chapter in your career? You're in a different mindset, you're happy and ready to go again?
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm gonna enjoy the fighting, I'm gonna have fun, and especially in training, we fight 3 5-minute rounds, and we train 100 5-minute rounds, and I am doing 100 5-minute round. I was doing hurting myself. Now I am enjoying those 100 rounds, and I believe the 3 5-minute rounds against Shane Burgos, I'm gonna be the best Marlon Moraes I've ever been.
Thank you.
Hey Marlon, how tough has it been on this losing streak? Like, you're not used to losing, and now you're on this 4 fight. Like, how tough has that been on you?
Man, it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I have to think on the whole, because I can't just throw myself out of this. Because the fighting, you only fight once a year, you only fight twice a year, but you train every day, and I know I'm there. I know the levels there. I know I can beat anyone, and I cannot keep thinking, oh, I lost 4 fights in a row, but then I won 15 in a row. So I gotta think about what I always done for the sport and what I accomplished, and I see my worth, and I know I'm the signing with the Professional Fighters League is gonna bring out of me something really good.
I know you've said in the past that you don't really care what fans and what media say about your losing streak, but do you hear them kind of say, like, is Marlon done? Is Marlon really taking this thing seriously?
Man, of course I do hear, because people tell me, and they message me, they ask me, and I really can't answer them with the words. I gotta get in there and fight and win. That's it.
And finally, a former opponent, Rafael Sunsao, you fought him twice. He just snapped his losing streak with a big win. I just want to know if you saw that, and does that give you faith that you can do the same thing?
Oh, 100%, man. Rafael is a great fighter. I like the guy. You know, we've been training in the past. We fought twice, and when I saw him winning, I was really happy for him. And like you just said, pushes me a little more. You know, man, let's get in there and let's get your kid away.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Did Ray and his team reach out to you to come to PFL, and how long of a process was it from when you were done with UFC to actually get to PFL and sign?
Man, when I was done with the UFC, we were still under contract, and when I announced my retirement, I've been talking with everyone. Ray is my friend, you know, and he always asks me, you know, we always talk, and we talk with each other. He always texting me about my family, I text him about his family, because outside of Professional Fighters League, we know how to separate. He's my boss, but outside we are friends, you know, we can still have a great relationship. And man, Marlon, why not try 45, man? Maybe you're hurting yourself, and when someone like a legend tells you something like that, and people that really care about you, make you think, man, I think it's time, you know, it's time to stop hurting myself. I weigh 160 pounds, 163. I can't keep training at 150, like hurting already my body and still having 15 pounds to go. So let's make a run, let's do it, you know, and that's how we approach to each other, and we start the conversations. And it was kind of cool, you know, because it's such a great thing to have coming from someone you really respect, you know. That's great.
Did you watch any PFL prior? Were you into PFL at all? And just see some of the fighters and some of the things that were going on?
Oh, every time I watch the PFL, I see myself in there because I was there one day, you know. Every time I was in the crowd, I see the backstage guy, I see the lady, everyone, and I know everyone, you know. So of course I was happy in the UFC, I was fighting for the UFC. But you know, when you had a girl in the past and you don't have her anymore, every time you see her you like, you know. That's my relationship with the Professional Fighters League.
And did you get to talk to any of the fighters? Did you get any, you talked obviously with Ray because you and Ray have that relationship, but did you also talk to any of the PFL fighters just to get their feel or talk to anyone else about it?
No.
Once you talk to Ray,
I know them already. I love the fighters. I have friends there fighting, but what they're gonna tell me, it's gonna be belong, you know. I believe Ray. If Ray says something, and I believe Pete, and if on the communication you don't need anybody else, you gotta trust each other, and that's what always happened between us.
Marlon, we see you in the tournament next year?
Of course. That's why I'm here. I don't want to do one fight. I'm here to test myself on the whole season. I want to put in 4 fights in a year. That's my biggest advantage. These guys are killing each other. Each other, like cutting weight like crazy. I'm not suffering at all. I'm gonna go home now, eat whatever I want. Of course, I'm gonna eat healthy, but I can eat as much as I can. And I have a fight in 4 weeks, man. 4 weeks for 35 pounds. I was gonna go home and eat some grass.
You think if you go out and you put on a show in November and then you put together a nice run, that you'll influence other fighters to say, hey, wait a minute, why am I killing myself here to make weight when guys are fighting at their natural weight and doing well?
It's hard to say that, man, because of my mentality, a lot of people think, oh, I gotta go down. I'm gonna be stronger, I'm gonna be bigger. It's not a matter of be stronger, be bigger. I always say, I've been with Frankie Edgar, and every partner he brought there, Bellator, I don't need to say names, Bellator champion, UFC champions, and PFL champions. Everyone I see in the room sparring with Frankie, I've seen him getting the best of all. And he was 153, 52 pounds, you know.
Thank you.
You are getting into a division with other American Top Team teammates. Does that cross your mind, or do you not even think about that until you get matched up?
You never know, you know. That's tough to say to who you're gonna fight in the future. And I'll talk about certain fighter, and I'll never fight him. So I keep the great relationship with everyone. But if one day we have to get locked in a cage and fight, we will fight.
Do you see it just as a job?
Yeah, of course I will fight anyone. I don't have anyone that won't fight, you know. I'll fight anyone.
Thank you.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good.